Good morning, beautiful people on this beautiful planet we get to call home for such a short period of time. So I've been on both sides of the coin. I've been down in the pits of hell in mind. That's the only place where hell is. There's no fiery pit that you go when you die. Hell is here. Hell on earth is here. Heaven on earth is here. But it's all here. It's all in mind. It's nowhere else. I've been there, into the depths of hell, in my mind. Riddled with OCD. Consumed every part of my mind. From morning till night. Continually doing rituals. I was abused as a little boy of two different people. Two separate occasions. I was an addict. I was an alcoholic. Took cocaine. I was homeless. I lived in supported accommodation for people with chronic mental health difficulties. Why am I telling you this? Because I know what it's like to judge. Why did I judge people so heavily when I was the one struggling? That just doesn't make sense, does it? Why would I be the one who's judging the world? Every step a person makes, judging their actions, not being a nice entity, being mean to everyone and everything I came into contact with, being mean to my ex-partner, being mean to my family, being mean to everybody who I came into contact with. Why would that be the case when I was the one that was struggling? Because I was living in hell in mind. I lived both sides of that coin. I now live in heaven in my mind. There is no judgment. There is no separation. I don't see negativity. It's not there. I see love. I see oneness. In everyone and everything. And that's only possible through dropping mind, through dropping out of thinking, through dropping out of ego. If you don't do that intentionally in every moment of every day, there's going to be times where you're stuck in thought. Obviously, you're going to be stuck in mind, you're going to be stuck in ego. But those little moments, your ego will love that. Your ego sees nothing other than divide. It sees nothing other than judgment. It sees nothing other than negativity. That's just the way it is. So as soon as you start to let go a little bit of the reins and it stops being your intention in every moment, then your ego will jump in. Your ego will jump in there and take credit for everything. And then you're in. Your ego's back in. What's ego? Ego's thoughts, mind. They're all the same thing. And then you're back in to being controlled by thoughts, by mind. So why do other people judge other people? When you'll notice that them other people who are judging heavily are the ones who are struggling the most. The ones who are negative are the ones who are struggling the most. Now, why would that be? You'd think that, like I just said, you'd think that when you're struggling, you wouldn't be like that. But they don't see anything different. You're judging someone else. If you're being negativity, the only thing that you can see is that in other people. You don't, they're unaware. They're just not seeing reality. because they can't be seeing reality, because they're stuck in mind, they're stuck in thought, they're stuck in ego. That isn't reality. That's just made up stories that the mind generates through past conditioning, past programming, past events, past circumstances, what somebody's told you. Just like your heart beats and your lungs breathe. They're just appearing out of nowhere. Like I said before, sit for 5 minutes in silence just before you go to bed and watch how many thoughts you'd have, and then be aware of how many thoughts you would have lived out the day after. Watch during the day how many thoughts you have, how many judgments you have, and how many you would have played out into reality, when none of it is reality. Thoughts don't mean anything. Thoughts appear out of nowhere. Just like your heart beats and your lungs breathe, they just pop in. But we're so conditioned to believe our thinking. We're so conditioned to believe our thoughts that everybody's running around living from thought, living from ego, living from mind. And none of it is real. So back to the point, where people are judging, people who are being negative, if you're around people like that, they're just consumed by mind. They're consumed by thought. They're consumed by ego. So they don't see any. If you're thinking that throughout the day, judgment, opinions, negativity, you don't see anything else. You're not going to see any. If you're thinking that, you're not going to see anything else through your eyes. It's not going to happen. You're just going to see negativity. You're going to see judgment. That's all you're going to see, because that's all that's there. All there needs to be is a shift in perception, a shift in, I refuse to see that. Morning, guys. Morning, all right. You just refuse to see that. It's just not there. It doesn't exist. It's just people's thoughts, people's mind, people's ego that makes them behave like that. We don't judge. We leave people where they are. Just like it's like the lady there. Oh my days. That's just thought. It's just ego. It doesn't mean anything. People believe these thoughts. They're just appearing out of nowhere. That look the lady gave then. It's it's funny, it is, because people are believing this stuff. People walking about the day. People don't want to hear it. People feel comfort, warmth, secure in thought, in ego, in the mind. But the look that the lady gave then to a friend when I was walking past was like that. Where's that being? I've got to give you real life experiences. Where is that coming from? Where is that being generated from? From thought. It can't be coming from anywhere else. It's coming from mind. It's coming from ego. All the same thing. So that lady has listened to me talking, had a thought, a judgment, perceived something in her own head because of past conditioning, past programming, and then acted upon it by giving her a dirty look, a judgment to her friend. If that wasn't there, and that lady will probably feel shit. And she won't probably feel shit, she will feel shit. You won't be judging people if you didn't feel shit. It's them people that judge like that, like I was saying, that's a perfect example. It's those people that are stuck in thought, and that proves it, stuck in thought, fucking mind, fucking ego. If that wasn't there, there'd be no judgment there. How can there be? There's no thought, is there? You're still. You're quiet. You're calm. If there's no mind, no thought, How can you ever judge another human being? How can you ever be negative? How can you ever be worried? How can you ever be fearful? How can you ever suffer with anxiety? How can you ever suffer with depression? Suffering ends at the end of thought. Doesn't exist, does it? It's not there. How can you suffer when you've got no thought? You can't. How can anyone affect you when you've got no thought? You can't. They can't. There is nothing anybody in the world could do that could ever disturb your peace when there's no thought there. The only way that can happen is if somebody does something to you and then you go into thought about it. Like the lady there before, give me a dirty look, which happens regular. The guy the other day, it's a regular. I might flip my camera around next time and show you. I think that's a good idea. When where was I? We'll just go off on another trail. I've lost where I was. When that happens, when people are doing that, that can't happen any other way than through thought. It wouldn't. It's not there. Doesn't manifest in your life. So the people that are judging the most, the people that are being mean towards you the most, just like I was with OCD, it consumed my mind, didn't it? Consumed everything I did, my thoughts, which then manifested into my life. Colitis absolutely destroyed my body within 2 years because I consumed it by mind. It's everything that I did. I became, like I said before, I became OCD man. There's 2 different periods of time in my life. I became colitis man. I became the abused boy. All through mind. I manifested. Colitis is a good one. I got diagnosed, I was bleeding, got diagnosed, and it became everything. It became who I was, what I did, where I went. It became my whole life. Within 2 years, it ravished me. If that was cancer, I would have been dead. And it was going that way. If that wasn't, that wouldn't work, and it got removed so quickly because it was turning nasty, and it would have turned to cancer, 100%, because I lived it and breathed it. And then I started to think about cancer near the end stage before it started to get taken out. So that would have 100% manifested in my life. I wouldn't be here now if it didn't get removed. So it got removed for a reason. It got removed so I could share this story. I could share what I've learned over the past year and a half. That we're not our thoughts. And if we're consumed here by negativity, by judgment, by opinions, by worry, by anxiety, by depression, whatever it might be for you, if it's negative, one, it's going to manifest in your life. There's no doubt about that because you're thinking about it all the time. And 2, you're basing it on something that just isn't there. You're basing it on all your life thinking about that negative stuff that is happening in your life. That's your base for life. You're gonna see that everywhere. You are. You're going to see those judgments in other people. You're going to see those worries in other people. You're going to see those anxieties in other people. If you don't see it and you see somebody being joy and being happy, you're going to judge that person because you feel shit. Because you've got all this stuff going on in mind, in thought, in ego. And it is so simple. People don't have to suffer. There is no suffering. Suffering is made up through thought. Suffering is made up through mind, through ego. It just doesn't exist if that's not there. Like Jesus said, you've got to die to be reborn. Doesn't mean, like I said before, that doesn't mean go and commit harry-carry. It means you've got to die to your ego. You've got to die to thought, you've got to die to mind. You've got to drop. Make that intention every day to drop out of thought. Because it's not real, guys. And you can live your whole life thinking thoughts that are just appearing from nowhere. You can live your whole life suffering. And you'll suffer. There's no ifs or buts or maybes or whatever. If you're listening to thought, mind, ego, you're suffering. That's just the way it is. We need to let go in every moment of those thoughts and return to peace, return to nature without any thinking. It's bollocks anyway, it doesn't mean anything. So when somebody is being mean or judging or whatever, they're just generated from mind, which isn't real. It's bollocks. They're just making it up, but they think it's real. They then have an opinion with that other girl, give me a dirty look, they probably have a little confab about it. What are they talking about? Nothing. It's all made up from thought that isn't real. They just appear. These thoughts are appearing. They don't even know me. They've never come into contact with me. They've never seen me before. They've just got a judgment and opinion off a thought. But thoughts aren't real. So they're just having this interaction that doesn't mean jack shit. Doesn't mean anything, does it? Doesn't mean... When them thoughts leave that person's mouth, it's a dream anyway. Doesn't mean anything anyway. So don't judge, guys. Just don't. If somebody is doing that and they're judging around you, then just drop out of it. Just don't take it seriously, because it absolutely isn't serious. It's not. Them thoughts are not serious. Just play it like a game. Like laugh at every thought that comes into your head. Like laugh at, what is that? What is that? What is that? It's funny. Once you're aware that you're not the thoughts, those thoughts are fucking nuts. Just laugh at them. Don't get engaged with them. Just drop them. Let go. Don't mean anything. It's my mission. This is my purpose, eh? This is my mission. Whatever, I don't give a shit, whatever you call it. It's to teach people and show people that they're not this. Because people are struggling. People are suffering. Listening to something that just generates, that is supposed to be there. Just like it's just another appliance in your body. It's supposed to think thoughts. It's supposed to do that job. But we've become so conditioned to believe it. To believe every thought that pops into our head. We've become so programmed to believe it all, and not one thought that appears is your thought. They're just appearing out of absolute thin air. And people believe them. And that's the sad thing about the world, is that people have these judgments, have these opinions, have these worries, anxieties, depression, suffering. Suffering ends at the end of thought. There's no thought there, you can't suffer, can you? It doesn't exist. Morning, guys.
Morning.
It's not there. People only suffer through thought. People don't get this. People live their whole lives connected to mind when none of it is real. They just appear. Morning, guys. You alright? And it is hard for people to hear, but what's the alternative? You suffer all your life. You struggle all your life. Listening to something that's just making shit up. It's fucking... I feel sorry for people. I do. I feel... not even sorry. I've got compassion, man. It makes me sad for other people. Not sad for me, sad for other people. That people are living in this state. People are depressed when they don't need to be. People are anxious when they don't need to be. I've lived this life, and people who know me know the other side of the coin that I've lived. I've been there and lived this anxiety, anxiety. Serious anxiety. I've lived it, I've breathed it. Where did that come from? It all come from mind. I know I've been on here 20 minutes now, so I'm going to go off in a sec. There's a fly on there. It all comes from thought. If I wasn't thinking that during those periods, it couldn't be there, could it? It doesn't exist. There's just peace. And who doesn't want to live there? Who doesn't want to live in peace? Who doesn't want to live in calmness? Who doesn't want to live in an overwhelming feeling of joy? An overwhelming feeling of love? And I do this here every time I do that. I'm not sure why, but I'm activating my heart. Who doesn't want to live in peace? Who doesn't want to live in love? These are all heart chakra. It connects you to your heart. It connects you to love. It connects you to oneness. What connects you? No mind. No thought. No ego. There's just a smile. There's just no reason. Happiness. No reason to be happy. Don't need to think myself into happiness. It's there anyway. Happiness is there. Joy is there. Love is there. Oneness is there. Why is it there? It's there because there's no thought. There's no ego. Morning, buddy. Morning. There's no mind. Doesn't exist, does it? Just make stuff up. But everybody is connected to it. Everybody is judging. Everybody is feeling the weight, is suffering through this, living in hell. Hell on earth is here, in your mind. Heaven on earth is here, in the mind. There's no, like I've said, there's no fiery pit that you've got to go to when you die. It's right here, right now. And you either wake up to the fact that you're not the thoughts in your head, or you suffer for the rest of your life. That is it. That is what it boils down to. That is what every spiritual text leads to. It's to letting go of mind. Letting go of thought. Are you prepared in every single moment? Is it your intention in every single moment to let go of thought and return to peace and love? Return to love and light. Hope everyone has a fantastic day. Namaste.